Do I have I do have my microphone. Oh, that's trippy. That's trippy because that's so delayed from where I am right now. Bear with me. I'm getting my shit together. Select live source. Sure, why not do both? What could possibly go wrong? And then is TikTok gonna work? Activate. Hey, that worked. Oh my god, it did work. And then let me go here. I gotta check. We're streaming a different way than we usually are. This one. Oh, the one that deleted my thumbnail. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I think that's good. It says excellent, but my player is horizontal. Oh no, I think we're good. I think it's fine. Okay, cool. Good. It actually showed me when I opened the app for once. I've got a RAV4, and I got a tint it. We're gonna be doing 35 on basically everything. So let's get started. Everything's all set up, ready to go. I am juggling a bunch of stuff at the same time. We can put this up, and why didn't those pop up? Oh no, should be good. Okay, that's why I didn't hear it. Duh. Sorry, if you wrote a message already, retype it. So we're gonna do 35 on the front doors. We gotta tint the entire thing along with the roof. Sound. Put it there. If you were to plotter cut windows all the time, would you still be able to get a good install? The problem with plotters is you don't know the cut that you're gonna get until you do it. There's a lot of guys, I don't want to say, like, just like, they do the, plotters can be disappointing, is it. They can be very good, and sometimes they can just be very mediocre and bad. So you always want to know how to hand cut. Because if you cut a plotted pattern, put it on the door, it just might not look that great. Or maybe I'm just extremely picky. Some people look at bad cuts and say, that looks great. And I'm like, okay. Just did one yesterday. Had rain guards. My plotter was down. Ah, that's the worst. See, that's a perfect case to use one. It's tedious to make those cuts. And you got to work around shit. So, I don't know. I'm very cynical towards plotters. Probably unfairly so at this point. All right, so we are cutting out a door. We're double cutting this one. Shift it over about that much. We're gonna jump to this side. Just put out the first little bit of blade there. Tear that away. And then we're gonna slide it back. Slide that down. tack to the window. Then we're gonna roll this down. We gotta turn on the car. We should probably do that. Grab our top. It needs a new blade. Let's put a new blade in this first. Have you ever considering doing wrap as well? Yeah, it's just splitting your attention among a lot of other skills. Being able to do tint and being able to do wrap is great. A lot of times one of them is going to consume all your time. So do one very well, do the other one, and then quickly hire somebody to help you with the wraps, and then you're going to be teaching them, so then it doesn't eat up all your time. Because you'll just spend so much time. And as an installer, your time is everything. There we go. That was perfect. Love when that happens. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do for these patterns is going to be rounding the corners and straightening all this out. I'm just going to follow the straight lines first. So where the seal is going, straight, and then we round the corner. Let me grab my ruler. Then around the corner. There we go. Straighten this out. And then one last. There we go. And now we have a couple front doors. Okay, now I'm trying something. I want to see if it works. Tintbot, can you clip the part where I was talking about cutting the front doors start to finish? We'll see if it works. Okay. We're gonna see if it'll actually make a video clip. It's counting down, 3 seconds left, and then I'll know if it does or not. Oh, it didn't work. Tintbot, can you make a video about hand cutting the front doors? Start to finish? We're trying to automate clips here. And we're pretty close. Yeah, it didn't work. So I'm going to feed this back in. We're going to see if we can figure out why that didn't work. Okay. Where do you get a cupboard like that? The cupboard was custom. The idea is a sliding glass barn door. So the glass itself is just custom. The hardware was Amazon, and it just hangs there. So we had a glass company come over, measured the cabinets, order the piece, and then we put the hardware on it, and we hung it. Now the cabinets, we just spaced those apart so that it all kind of works out nicely. So I intentionally bought a cabinet set. Then we put some 2-inch angle on top and mounted the hardware to it. How do you cut the top edge clean? Nice sharp blade. People don't snap their blades enough, but you want to make sure you have a brand new blade. I have a plastic holder that I use to cut the top edge of the window. So I can push this against the tint. You're never pushing super hard though. You want to push hard enough to just hold the tint against the top, so it's just lightly holding it against, and then the blade is making the cut. And you can hold the blade perfectly straight when you make that cut, angle it forward, just. But it's just knowing how to hold your hand. But the blade is going to do the cutting. The blade holder is going to keep it against the top of the glass. Would you charge $500 to tint a Durango with C2 ceramic and remove its old tint? No, tint removals, if you're not doing a windshield, it would fall in there. Because it would be, so for all the sides in the rear, it would be $299. Oh, sorry, it would be $350 in C2 ceramic. And then a tint removal would be, on all the sides in the rear, would be $250. It's more if we're doing the windshield. Removals make it much more expensive. $250 to remove everything without the windshield, $350 to remove it with the windshield. But I don't like doing film removals. Film removals are just a pain in the butt. Currently in the process of hiring somebody to do mobile. I will supply it all except the transportation. Also have everything pre-cut out. What would be the best way to split this? When I was mobile, I had to buy the film, and my commission rate was at 50%. So you could kind of use that as a baseline. I'd say probably like 40% would probably be a pretty good rate. 40 to 50. Mobile's hard. Mobile's hard to scale too, because quality control and everything. Also, plotter cutting is kind of an interesting variable too. Patterns don't always line up. Customers change their mind. So we always just brought rolls around, and customers would pick on the fly, and we'd try and upsell them into a ceramic or something. What's the weather like in Detroit? It's cooler. Not super warm anymore. I don't know. Our temperature is so up and down right now. Oh my god, I forgot about this one. Here, let's use this one. And then we need our new gel. Oh, you ain't kidding. This stuff is much thicker. There's a new OptiGlide and formula. So this stuff is gonna stick in place better. It's got a little bit of slip to it, but it's definitely thick. So I'm gonna play around with that. I'm used to gels that are on the thinner side. Not OptiGlide was thin, but this stuff is kind of hanging out. was hoping for a Gen 1 RAV4. No, thank you. I am using it a lot more. Part of it's just for testing, and then I'm just gravitating towards using it a lot more. So it's a mix. I just want to use it on a lot of different window types. One of the biggest reasons I'm using it more on the door windows is because the less tint can stick inside the seals is better. So I was always frustrated for years. You tuck it into the side and then it grabs. It's nice when you tuck it into the side and then you still have a little wiggle room and you can shift it around, not like, God, fucking bites. It's expensive. It's what, 40 bucks a gallon? You don't use much on a car? It's really not bad. All right, so now we're gonna tuck this in, rinse that down. You never get a crease here. You can definitely get a crease or a pinch. You don't want to push it hard though. That's the issue that a lot of people that are new to it are gonna run into. It's just they're not very gentle with the film. You always want to be gentle with it. You know, like a folding phone isn't going to be a hard crease there. It's going to be like rolled. You know, like the flips and stuff. That's what we're trying to do when we tuck into the side. You're just trying to curl it so it'll lay flat enough to tuck into the seal, but you're not putting a ton of pressure. What are you liking the best? Oh, well, that's why I like Opti. Opti's been really, really nice. It's super clean. It sticks well. It's just easy to use, and it's not super costly. They don't need to be super, super expensive. But, I mean, that's where I feel like you're paying so much more for branding. This is a big reason I like Geo. It's like Geo, you're getting an awesome film. You're not overspending on brand. An XPEL 3M, a lot of what you're paying for is not a substantial difference in film. It's going to be for the brand. There we go. Got that. Oh no. Walmart's the best. Get your tint and chicken in the same trip. All right. Let's see what it said really quick. And then I will... Okay, so we're going to download that. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to close this. And then I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to click Start Recording. Download. Open. Open Terminal. Open Notes. Copy that. Paste. Copy that. Paste. Enter. Okay. now we're on a new version, so I'm going to tint for a little bit, and I'll see if I can get a clip from it. So that's good. I'm going to hand cut the back doors, and then we're going to plot the rest of it, other than the windshield. It's just going to save a lot of time. Front quarters, rear quarters, rear quarters, rear window. It's all stuff that is tedious to cut that a plotter's going to far outpace me. And usually does a very good job. $5 super chat, thank you. From Wookfissel. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the 5. You work here or own it? It's my shop. There we go. Cut that. And then we're gonna rinse behind that, slide it over, go to this side. I need to narrate a little bit more. Cut this edge. Put that aside. Slide back over, and then we're gonna slide this down. There we go. We got most of the pattern. I hope I just didn't cut that too short at the top. Ooh, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be very close. Look at that. You see that? You see that edge? Not this one. There's a little one. We just have enough film there. That's a 36-inch roll cut in half, except it was not cut perfectly in half. So I have so much slack. Okay, all that's working. Let's see. Hey, TintBot, can you make a video about cutting the rear door? There we go. Let's grab that. Yeah, it's still not working. It needs to fix the triggering, or else I'm gonna be trigger. Cut that. Flip that over, and then we're gonna slice this. Hey TintBot, can you clip a video about cutting the rear doors? We're trying to automate clips here, so like imagine we got a camera, we're recording. Imagine just in the middle of the stream. We can just make a clip while we're working. Sun Distributing, best place to buy OptiGlide. Okay, why am I confused on this? There we go. That was weird. No, it's the other side. Okay, that's better. That's better. I got all turned around. They just dropped off some more OptiGlide. That's Rick from Sun Distributing. Somebody just said Sun Distributing is the best place to buy OptiGlide.
It is not. Well, actually.
It probably is.
It probably is.
But we have it too. They're only 30 minutes from me.
I can't say it's fresher at Sun Distributing than here because you can't seem to hold on to it long enough for it to go.
Do you even know what you're doing? I'm still learning as I go today. It's my first day. Oh, it was a question? Oh. I'm trying to just whatever makes it work makes it work. I don't even know what it's using, but whatever it's using is not being consistent with making it work. Yeah, it's just not showing up there, and then this is. Yep, still not working. There we go. Now we're going to take all this, we're going to copy that, we're going to feed this back in here, and then we're going to say, however you made this is wrong because it never triggers right. We yell at it. Okay. So this one is shrunk, ready to install. Let's put a door cover on it. This is going to be step 1. Oh, hang on. Settings. Output. Recording path shouldn't have been put there. That's my bad too. Can I change this? Oh shit, I can't change. Okay, that's in queue. Send. Might have made a oopsie on that one. Okay, so we're gonna take a blade. We're gonna clean this window. Just glide it along the surface, and we're making sure any little things that would get stuck do not stick. Key not detected. Wake up. There we go. Oh, what's the difference between OptiGlide and OptiGlide Plus? The OptiGlide is just um, uh, like a carbomer. It's just thick water. What he's been tweaking with it is adding a little bit of slip to it and some stuff that helps it to stick to the glass a little bit better. So if you just take water without anything, no soap, nothing, and you spray it on the window, that water's just going to turn into raindrops and it's going to bead. So same thing with a gel that is just 100% like water with nothing to make it stick to the window. It starts to cling to itself rather than spread out on the glass and kind of cling there. So OptiGlide came out, and then they've been tweaking the formulas to just be a little bit more user friendly. So it's a little thicker, has a little bit of a slip agent to it. Oh, I forgot to spray it on this window too. I'll spray it on the next one. It's one reason I tape. Taping, this is without using the gel at all. Taping, using gel, all those things are to help manage dirt. But also a gel that's a little bit thicker is gonna prevent film from like really clinging to the glass very quickly. So if you find your tint is incredibly tacky with the soap that you're using, you can add more soap, but you can also try spraying some gel, and that should help it to slide for longer because the water doesn't let the adhesive touch the window as fast. Your voice is majestic. You're lying. There we go. That's good. Let's roll this up. I found it. I found the issue. Okay. We will check that out again on the next window, and we'll try and clip it. Tuck that in. Spray that. Can you recommend some nano ceramic brands that I can buy? GeoShield. We're using their C2 ceramic right now. You can get it from here. You don't have to make a account or anything. You can just get it here. Okay. Well, this side is good on the roll downs. We need to cut out the quarter windows. I might as well just pull off the plastic for right now then. I'm gonna come back around and do the quarters though. want to get the roll downs out of the way. Okay, so we're going to go through this again. Take that, put it in the trash, close that, terminate. Take that, put it in the trash, and then we're going to go here. We're going to download the file. We're going to unzip. We're going to click on notes. We're going to copy that. We're going to go back to terminal. We're going to start that. And, what was the last part? Oh, yeah. Start recording. We'll start with a new one. And then click that. Okay, we should be good for another test. And then we'll see. We will see if it works or not. I'm gonna take my sprayer over. Okay, but how about a non-313 tint brand? Why? It's like going to somebody and asking, hey, what would you personally recommend for tinting my car? And I'd say, like, well, I'm a tinter. I can tint your car. And you're like, okay, who would you recommend that's not you? Fuck, dude, that hurts. Ideally, I'm looking for a 3M or XPEL. Okay, for one, though, GeoShield is not our brand. And for two, those are protected brands that you're not going to be able to just go buy. You'll learn someday. Okay, so do you know anybody that's actually good at tinting? Rude. All right, we are going to install this door window. And we are going to talk through the tools that we use because somebody just asked. So, first off, I used a 1-inch razor blade to just scrape the surface. 2, we have a sprayer. We're spraying tint slip on the window, soapy water mix. I'm going to wipe off the top edge just to make sure that's nice and clean. Now we're going to use a softer squeegee for some cleaning. We have this in the reach around handle. This is the tri-edge wax blade. Then we have a tri-edge corner card. We're going to swipe that. We're going to swipe that. Then we're going to spray our soapy water mix on the window. I can hit the sides with some gel. Oh my god, it just switched over. That's OptiGlide. Now we're going to peel our window halfway. Spray that down. Pick it up. And lay this on the glass. We're going to curl this in, tuck it into the side seal, go this way, curl it in, and tuck it into the side seal over there. Now we're going to line it up along the top edge of the glass, go back to our soft squeegee, and this is about spreading the film out, getting some of the moisture out, and lightly tacking it in place. Starts to kind of grab the window, and then I'm going to grab a harder squeegee Right now I have the Detroit Tint Studio green squeegee. This is a harder squeegee. It's gonna do a good job of pushing extra moisture and water out. Then I'm gonna go back to a corner card and I'm gonna swipe the edge here. I appreciate that you want to sell your products in tint, but I'm not in the US or Canada. I'm in Somalia. You should have led with that. Okay, now that the film is stuck in place, we can roll it up. You guys. You guys leave so much context out. Then we're gonna rinse that. I'm gonna use the shank. What I'm gonna do with that is pull back the seal. It's a palette knife that we dubbed the shank. And then I'm gonna pull back this corner. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Lift. And then we're gonna tuck the rest of that into the seal. Then we're gonna go back to a soft squeegee. Push this out. There we go. And then I'm gonna go over it with a harder squeegee. This is also in a black handle. Whenever I want to put extra pressure down, I'm always gonna use a squeegee blade in just a handle so I can put some more pressure on it. There we go. We're gonna wipe this off. Looks good. I like it. Let's pull the tape. And that's what you need to tint a door window. Is there a supplier on Alibaba you'd recommend? No, you would just get stuff and see if there's a way to fast track and weather track it. I don't know what's available to you in your country. The majority of window tint stuff is in the US. There are a lot of distributors around the world. A lot of those are going to be the bigger names that you listed. But I don't know. You would start contacting those companies and start calling other maybe places and shops that are installing different films and see if you can get some recommendations. I don't know what's popular over there. Did I say anything about it? Hey Tintbot, can you make a video about everything that I use to tint the door window? And we wait. We wait. We wait. See, I just don't think it's working. Hey Tintbot, can you clip a video about what we used to tint what tools we needed to tint the window? I think I need another like trigger program or something. There we go. That shrunk. Okay. Okay. Door cover. Okay, I guess we'll find out what's going on after this one. GeoShield is the brand that we use. I have a Fusion handle, but any stubby. This is called the Shorty by Fusion. We have a cheaper handle that is very, very similar. Global? No, I haven't. I haven't used Global for any long length of time. I know about Global. I've been able to use Global a little bit, but no, I've never carried Global. The white tape on the seals is just to help manage dirt. So instead of a dirty seal, albeit it's a very new, clean car, so it's not going to do much. But on the side here, the seal can hold dirt speckles, especially on older vehicles. They can also be felt, so you can just tape over that, and then I don't have to worry about it at all. It's a brand new temporary seal. Like if you were painting a wall and you didn't want paint to bleed over on the other wall, you tape your edges. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Why is it 3M or XPEL won't sell to individuals? So, in the window film space, and some other ones, you're going to have brands that want to create a bigger, more desirable image. And do you know how you do that? You start restricting it, and you make it more expensive. Therefore, if film is way more expensive, it must be way more better. Then they take that money that they saved, or that they charged, sorry, not saved, the extra money because they charge more for their film, and then they do way more marketing. And then they get people like you to go, I want that. It's the best. If they sold to just anybody, one, a lot of people wouldn't pay it anyways because, oh shit, that's expensive. So that's where the exclusivity kind of comes in. That works together with it. But the other part about it is by restricting it to dealers only, it gives them a lot more control over their brand and tries to make it seem better than it is. So if anybody could just install their films, they're gonna just make it look like a garage brand. Why don't you want to get GeoShield instead? It's the same quality materials. But you're like, no, that can't be. It's 3M. It's Expel. It can't be the same. Why did that disappear? That's weird. Oh, there it is. I don't want to carry Expel. I don't want to pay 50% more for film to get the same types of products that I'm getting already. Personally. Okay. Let's see why this didn't work. Let's copy all this. So we got the roll downs all done. We're gonna cut some quarter windows. Lots of quarter windows. See, like I cut yesterday. That was for golf. Not fun. So this is a new, pretty new. All right, I'm gonna double check what year we got. 2026. I thought so. So we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of that. Clear all, and we're gonna go with a 2026. Toyota RAV4. So we're gonna cut these. Let's start with the back. Okay, I'm just gonna close it. Terminate. Go to cut board. Cut. Core versus DigiCut. Core's just far better than Digi. I use Digi under the name Film Cut, and it was okay. And now it's the same price as Core. So that doesn't make sense to me. I understand a lot of brands have high 90s for UV, but nano ceramic is much lower for the non 3M brands. What? What? You're talking about IR? Not UV. So we're gonna cut this. We're gonna cut that. Price point exactly why I'm second guessing. Yeah. Like DigiCut's always been kind of mediocre. I thought it was a good for a budget software because when I first started using it, it was 80 bucks a month. No software was anywhere near that. Then it was 100. Then it was 120. Now it's 200 fucking bucks a month. Why? It's not that good. How much? No, I don't do pre-cut patterns. Our blocking properties are higher for 3M. So, it's just because you haven't really felt any films, especially in front of like a heat box. There's only so much that the films are actually going to be able to do. Your car is still a metal box, and it's still going to get very hot. The way that ceramic films work is they absorb the heat, and then that heat radiates. It'll dissipate off the car, but it'll also radiate into the car as well if it's just sitting like out in the sun. When you're up in anybody's top tier films, you're just not going to feel a difference. So spec sheets will convince you and make you think that you got to get it because somebody's going to have 2, 3, 4% more in something, and then it's going to be like, well, that one's the best. I got to get the best. And then you actually put it on your car, and then if you actually can compare it, that's when you really can see, but it's really hard to actually compare them. So, I mean, personally, I haven't been uber impressed with what a lot of top tier brands offer for the money. It's just marketing. It's not that they're bad films. It's just like, why pay the difference? I don't know. Okay, one more time. These are not super fun to tint if the patterns aren't perfect. They're gasket style quarter windows. So we have to get the film inside the gasket a little bit. Do you think Geo is the best price to value? Yeah. That's why I've been using him for so long. There's also the trustworthiness of the brand. I don't want to install anything that I feel like is going to fail. I feel like going much cheaper than this just has poor quality results, or is a little more sketchy on just like, oh, the brand hasn't been around for very long. I don't really know where their films come from. Vinyl tucking tool works really well on these. That's cool. I'm interested in seeing exactly what one you're talking about. On the website, we have a community. So I'd really like to see what it is. So if you can go here and make a post with it, I'd love to see what it is. I always like to carry better tools or try different stuff. There we go. USA made tint is a lie. Oh boy, is it ever. You're not kidding. There'll be some steps that are done in the US, but completely end to end is kind of a meme. How to practice? Oof. That's hard if you don't have an actual space. A lot of people don't. It'd honestly be worth renting some type of like a storage unit that you could pull a car in for a month and just use your own. You don't have to go to the junkyard and buy a specific window to practice on. You can just practice on your own car. But I mean, if you want to buy one, you could get some variety. You could get a few doors. It's just like lugging doors around. Might be a little bit annoying. That's how some tint schools operate, though. We have a 3D class and single day classes too. We pull in actual cars to let people practice on. What do you think about chameleon tint? Chameleon tint is a sketchy world. It's hard to know what's not going to fail. There's a lot of it that does fail. But also, it's fucking expensive. Like, there's one company that I signed up with, Ultravision, because I was more curious about, like, they seem to have been the only one that I can concretely say has lasted, at least one of the films has, on a customer vehicle. They bought it, I installed it, and then I saw it like 2 years later and they said it was still great. But I literally just installed some on a windshield for a customer. They bought just the windshield piece for $300. That's not installation. That is raw film cost. My good fucking God. It blocked out some heat, but not as much as C2 ceramic does. So it's purely for like, that one was purely for getting the look that they wanted. And they just like had to have it. It's an interesting market. What do you think about the Lincoln front windshields? They're not that bad. I have one. The screens get in the way a little bit, just like everything that's on the dash, but the windshields themselves aren't bad. I'll be honest, I haven't had a Mercedes here in a little while. But the ones that I've had, Mercedes is always like one you got to be careful about water, but their seals aren't quite as tight as like Audi. They've always been kind of the easier end of the German spectrum. United? I wouldn't fucking put that shit. They just run a lot of ads now. Made in Korea with a US flag on it or something like that. I don't know. People will gravitate, the masses will gravitate towards whatever is the least expensive. And then they'll have an issue with one of them, and then they'll just go to the next one that seems like it's going to be good for less money. I don't know. Wow. Scorpion, it's another one of those inexpensive brands that I'd be more nervous than anything to offer. So, I'm incredibly dude. I've just seen it. I've seen it so many times. Budget film companies. They always have their drawbacks. And in the grand scheme of things, installers are so focused on what is the cost of that roll. They look at the total roll cost, not how much is it going to cost me in material to tint that car. They're just like, just don't do the math. So the largest cost to any tint job is your time. That's not the material. So saving 20, 30 bucks on a car to offer a film that I would question is just like, it's not something I'm going to risk on my own clients. So like, it's always hard for me to say, yeah, that's probably good as like a starter brand. Because like in the beginning, it's like, I understand it can be tough to grow. You're trying to stretch your dollar as far as it can possibly go. You just want to be careful about very early on installing subpar films and then continuing your business, and then something fails, and then that just like, well, I was new at the time, I got a better film. It's just like, it can damage your reputation really early on. So I will never speak badly about anybody that like, yeah, I went with this, so just like, it was what it was at the time. There's just like, what would be my honest recommendation? What types of films would I go with? You're seeing it. This is how I feel about running a business, running a shop, the materials that I carry. Where is my... Where are they? They're... Okay, I'll grab one of these. Last one. Dryer sheets, do they all leave speckles under the film? Yeah, that's just a dryer sheet. And to be honest, dryer sheets are just an option. Some guys use soap bars. Like, a lot of waxy residue stuff has a little bit of a texture to it. I just haven't tried any outlandishly different options in a while. We just need something that leaves like a light waxy surface on the glass that lets the film float most of the time, and then when you want it to tack, it tacks. I just got tint from a shop and they left uneven gap at the top edges, refused to fix it. What should I do? I don't know. That really sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. If they don't, they just, unfortunately, that's what they deem as, how much was the job? If you don't mind me asking. I'm using filtered water. I have a DI system, so everything that comes out of the sink here is ran through a DI system. And before that, I was just using tap water. We have pretty clean tap water, so it's always been fine. DI has just been like nice to try out and everything, but it's not, I wouldn't describe it as life-changing in my area, but some areas have really like heavy water and stuff. And then we need this. And then we need this. With camera, without camera. I think there's a camera there. There is a camera there. Oh. Can I get another set out of this? I think I can. As a new tinter, should I do tint removals? No. As an experienced tinter, should you do tint removals? Nah. To be honest, there's not really a good reason to do it other than like, hey, it's another customer. Just price them higher, make it worth your time. So a tint removal, you're often going to spend 2 to 3 times additional than just tinting it on its own. So if you want to spend that time, price accordingly. I left a big crease on the windshield, uneven gaps on the front side windows, and a big scratch on the passenger rear door. Ooh. Sounds like a shitty shop. Somebody says, get it fixed at another shop, send the shop that installed it a demand letter. If they don't respond, take them to small claims court. I don't know. I would look into like what are consequences for contractors that do poor quality work. But yeah, it might be a small claims issue. To be honest, I'm genuinely not sure because there's usually not enough money there that it's not worth everybody's time, and then unfortunately you just live with a bad experience and you try and get it resolved on your own if they won't. The BBB. Yeah, that would do. It would just leave a 1-star review and a sea of other reviews. It's so common in window tint. I mean, customers argue with shops about price, and they think it's all the same, and but what if he takes it to another shop and they fuck it up even more? Sorry. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna trim that a little bit more. That comes really close. Oh, that is pretty close. Let's make sure this is even slimmer. Fix my glasses too. Shit, that gets heavy. Okay, where are we at with this? Okay, let's do this. Let's restart this. We're gonna download. We're going to do that. We're gonna take this, just replace the clipper. Yeah, that's what I've done like every time. Let's stop the recording. Let's go to this. I'm gonna delete all this. We're gonna start recording again. And then I'm going to press enter. No, it's using the old folders. We need to go to settings, output. Close, won't let me select it. That's dry, cool. Put this on. That's a little bit better. We don't have a lot of wiggle room here between the spoiler and the pattern. I wish you could tint my car. Your work looks so clean. But see, now I'd be nervous. You know what makes me nervous? Is people that have seen the channel and are bringing it specifically because I do a good job and I spend extra time and everything. But, like, I do a good job. But it also makes me extra nervous just because, like, I want it to look as good as it fucking possibly can. And I don't want unrealistic expectations either. But people that have seen a bad job and then seen a good job versus people that have like never seen any job and are just coming here because they're, it always makes me nervous. It's like, I hope I can live up to their expectations. I'm in Sterling Heights which is Metro Detroit. Close enough. We're like 30 minutes out of like downtown Detroit. I've answered the United question. I was talking about them earlier when you asked. What's the biggest mistake you've seen with people tinting the back glass? Oh, there's so many mistakes that you can make. Hardest thing to understand is shrinking. Then if you successfully shrink it, another hard thing for people to understand early on is evenly distributing the film. You gotta put some force on the windshield. You gotta make sure you squeegee from the center and just spread all the film out. And then you also don't want to trap little air pockets along the defroster lines. And the lower parts are always harder to reach. So people generally leave a lot of water and air behind when they first squeegee out a back window, and then they think it's something to do with their shrinking. But shrinking's bigger. Shrinking's hard to explain. It's not hard to explain. It's hard to get people to understand what you're looking at versus what they're looking at. It just looks like ripply film, but all I see are tension lines and patterns. So we gotta constantly reinforce, this is how I shrink it, right? I wanna see those little ripples in the film, and then that means it's shrunk. And then they'll see that, and they'll go, okay, and then they'll card down the entire thing, and you go, whoa, 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 wait. Not quite that far. And then you'll correct it, and then they'll make the same mistake again, same mistake again, same mistake again. It's the same mistake over and over again until it starts to click. Thanks for answering my questions as a beginner. Oh yeah, absolutely. As an insurance adjuster or former, when clients' cars come in, we photograph it as it comes in to prevent liability. Have you ever thought about implementing an automated camera system? I've never set up an automated one. We made a CRM that I can go around and take pictures of the car and upload them to the profile. We should do something automated. Just have something by the door so as we start pulling it in. Right now I'm trying to automate clips, so I'm a bit distracted on a 100 other little things. So like, fuck it, we don't need that one anyways. I'm just kidding, we probably do, but now it's gone. Wish you could do my tint. Nobody near me has been able to do a good job. See, those are the ones that make me nervous. Just like, fuck, I hope I can live up to expectations. Oh my god, I almost wiped out. When you're installing a strip, would you use the plotter for that straight look? Yes. But I leave it up to the customers. I ask them if they want it to have the straight look or if they want it to curve. And you know what's so funny is now that we can cut a curved one very easily, most people like the curve. Most people just like the factory edge bow around here. They're like, I had it that way on my last one. Let's stick with that. I like that. But technology and it's straight and the customers don't care. Not fair. Insurance companies have the cameras by the doors and it just takes pictures as you drive in. Yeah, that's really cool. I love the idea. Just the time and setting it all up. Super cool though. Okay, I'm gonna hop on this real quick. I gotta swap the battery. So that is getting swapped right now. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Plug that in the case. Next one. I'm gonna guess it goes this way. No, it goes the other way. Oh, come on. Oh, that's the first time it's actually died on me. Well, that's not helpful when hot swapping a battery. Probably because I plugged in the battery the wrong way. Oops. Alright, give me a minute. We gotta repair it. So then I gotta go to an app. I gotta click on this button. I gotta click on that. It's gotta connect. I gotta join. Code of Honor Tint Studio. My only teacher. Aw. No, we're not gonna do an update right now. Okay, live stream. I know the camera's black. It's coming back. Preparing to live stream. Preparing to live stream. Can it prepare a little faster, please? That'd be nice. Oh my god, why is it taking so long now? Never takes this long. Failed, no kidding. Oh, we got it on the second try though.
Starting the tint business in my garage, a good start.
Okay, we are streaming again, and I still don't see an image yet, which means it changed the code. Nope, it's back. All right, good shit. Bobo, let me give you the files to copy. No, just remake it. Shit, dude. Starting your own tint business in a garage, a good start. That's where I started Detroit Tint Studio. If you look back on the YouTube channel 5 years, you'll see videos from the garage. I liked the garage. The garage was nice. But if you're trying to grow like a business, like an actual shop, it just helps to be at an actual like commercial place. But starting somewhere, shit, dude, use what you can. I love tinting from home. I always looked at tinting from home a little bit differently because you can dress it up to look just like a shop. Obviously, it's going to be attached to a house and it's still going to feel somewhat like tinting from a house. But, all right, let me see here. Make sure it. Towels. All right, I'm going to do what it says. Okay, so we're going to close this, terminate. We're going to look at this, we're going to delete, we're going to delete. We're going to download, I'm going to go back to terminal, I'm going to paste that in, and I'm going to look.
Dang massa, you type fast boy.
I almost feel like it's picking up the wrong file for some reason. You type fast. You know, this is one of the few things I was really thankful to in high school. I was like would type like this and would stare at the keyboard, and took a typing class, and they would constantly yell at us for looking at the keyboard. They're like, "Stop doing that." And then we had covers that we'd put over it, and I was just like, it was a slacker on keyboard class. But my teacher kept reinforcing, like, do these. It was very strict, but it actually turned me into a better typer. $120, that's fast. I'm probably not that fast. That's awesome. Don't take typing skills for granted. All right. Let's install this back window. But yeah, I have a hard time with all this because, like, at heart, I'm a big technology nerd. I come up with random ideas, but it all has to do with, oh, this was backwards, that's why. It all has to do with business, and so I find myself so split between doing the jobs and then doing something for the job. So, something that we should be doing and should have been doing for a long time has been posting consistent clips. It's just work. And then what I'm playing around with right now is a auto clipping bot that basically, like, I can just tell it. So it's like monitoring the stream. And then I had some tools made, and then it'll just be like, hey, can you clip the last 30 seconds, or can you I just shrunk a back window. Can you make a video about it? And it'll look at all the transcription and go back and clip that into a video, and then that video will self-post. And then we'll start posting more clips. Okay, it's telling me to do this. Stupid. Stupid. Come on. Download. We'll just try it again, and then maybe. You know what I'm gonna do? Is it? Can I just copy this in here? Is that how we start it? Permission to.
It's amazing the progress AI has made over the past few years in math. Yes, I'm super thankful my brother's classmate dropped the computer off old Windows 98 PC as a thoughtful gesture.
Stop recording.
Ever since then, I've been a PC user, and I don't know if I would have quite the typing skills if it wasn't for the classmate.
Start recording. All right, we'll just try it again and see. And see. Must be an Iron Man fan. Yeah, those are good movies for sure. Yeah, AI stuff's been crazy. There's one thing that I was always like, I just didn't have the patience for coding. I knew it's something I should have learned, but I just never did. And what's crazy is it's always helpful to know how to do that, because then you understand how systems should be structured earlier and small pieces that you could easily fix that it otherwise might get extremely hung up on. And it's like, oh, it's doing it this way. It's actually better if we do things this way. Like you can be more of a coach to it. But holy shit. There's just a number of things that you can now create and tweak so fast. You can just like have an idea, and what would have taken weeks of coding and thought just to try is now like a 20-minute like, let's try and do that. Oh shit, that was pretty cool. Let's try and do this other thing. And you can just do so much more. Tintbot, can you clip the part where I talked about AI being cool? And then we'll see if it works. feel like it's just not doing. How to drag the file into terminal to run it. Then we know we're getting the right file. Do we go in there or do we go in here? I was planning on going in here. Yeah, that's fine. It's really good. It's probably a bit thicker than I'd want it to be. I want it to spray a little bit more finely. But, I mean, what's in it seems to be doing a good job of just letting the film float. And then I can get it tacked after. It's like a nice mix. So I'm not mad at it, that's for sure. Okay. Here we go. That quarter window's done. Okay, let's try this. Terminate. Terminal. And then we're gonna go to the downloads, Clipper. Okay, there we go. So now it's definitely like this is the latest one. Why is it still using those folders? Maybe that's why it's being stupid. Yep. We're gonna leave that. Go to this side. I'll install it from in here. Run this in terminal.
Got my Ryzen 9 9950X3DW5075, Samsung 9100 Pro, Crucial P3 plus 6 TB my God memory prices, and 64 GB Trident C Royal Neo, Arctic Liquid Freezer 3420, Vantic M2 Pro 2 server.
Just got my Ryzen 9 9950 X3D. Oh, hell yeah. That's a hell of a PC. Fun stuff. I haven't, man. It still feels new to me. but it's definitely not. I built a Ryzen Threadripper PC. It was a 1950X. It's old now. It's old. It's like 2018. No, it's like 20 something. It's old. It still feels new. Damn it. That was a cool PC. It was always fun putting them together. Now I don't have a good excuse because I don't game. Everything that I do, I need more power now, but everything I do can be done with like a fucking M series Mac. So I end up buying that's a M4 Pro. I just bought a new Mac Air with an M5. Dude, those are super nice little machines for what they are. Little battery sipping. But man, I love putting workhorse PCs together. So much fun. Cybersecurity focused setup. That's super cool. Oh, for networking switches, Ubiquiti, or I couldn't tell you. I have Ubiquiti for cameras. I've been really happy with them. It's very fast. All your networking is Ubiquiti. Okay. Quarter window's done, back window's done, that's done. Oh my God. I was gonna say it fucking deleted them. God damn it. It's okay. It's not that sensitive. Oh, wait. I know what I can do. Dismiss. Okay. I don't care that much. It doesn't matter. Have you ever thought about doing multicam live streams? Of course. I've done them. If you go back a couple months, you'll see my the cameras that I have up there. They track me. So I was doing that for a while. This one, PTZ G6, I think. I have a few of them. They watch me. It's like a TV show. It's pretty awesome. But multicam live streams, I could nerd the hell out on all that stuff. Very challenging when you're walking around a car. Like I had voice commands, I had different camera angles, I had stuff set up. But what I always go back to is this. It just works out the best, and viewership honestly doesn't care. They either want you to carry a camera around because they don't like POV, or POV is nice. But multi-cameras and switching around and stuff like that, making into production, it just hasn't mattered. But I love that stuff. It's stuff's so fun. All right, I'm gonna try this one more time. Delete, stop recording, download file. Then we jump back here, we unzip, and then we go to here, clicker PY, should start it. Dumbass. It's gonna make me do it. Okay. We're gonna see if these line up. Okay, there we go. Fine. See, it doesn't get it though. Clicker, ding, ding. Stupid. That. Okay, holy shit. Then we're gonna click that button, and then we're just gonna see. What phone mount do you have in your car? I just bought a MagSafe mount off of Amazon. It's on a little arm, and it's placed a little bit lower, so it just kind of stays out of the way, and it's just easy to just clip my phone to. I don't have anything elaborate. The brand starts with like a T or something. Tizen something. I don't know. Something like that. Oh, my favorite. I love these quarter windows. They're so fun. I feel gritty. POV Pro? What's that? Actually, I haven't heard of that one. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. Shit. Dude, this is fucking 2 days in a row. I had a golf yesterday. And like Toyota front quarters typically aren't as bad. They're definitely not. But this one I am not looking forward to. So we'll see. I just hope this goes nice. It's all in the cuts. If the cuts line up really nice and it doesn't pinch, it goes really well. If it does pinch or bind up somewhere, it's very hard to adjust and fix. Just tuck. See that? And then I just need this to prod in here and not fall out. Well, like, what are you using? So is that like a live streaming system? Because what I have is not fancy. I'm using a DJI Action 6, and I'm streaming it to Mac Mini. The tucking tool would have helped. I saw you had mentioned that you posted it. Cool. I'll definitely take a look. It's good to know. Bit of a, like, fuck, I wish I had it, right? Just getting the right card and angle on it. Oh, we have tint online. You can buy it from us. This stuff's gonna take forever to dry here. Oh, just for recording videos. Man, you can use so many things like that. The metas are good for that. I haven't seen those pair of. I'm assuming it's a pair of glasses. But yeah, taking short videos of just like your installation and stuff and being able for customers to reference that is really nice. This is a website for a cocktail after those quarters. Z Gorgeous, thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate that. Tintbot, can you clip a video of me tinting the front quarter windows? Okay, now we'll see. We'll see if it works. 1 quarter window actually turned out good. No gaps, no issues. Yeah, all the tools, that's for sure. Yeah, this is just a waste of time. Oh, you're still running old code. I'm not running old code, you dumb shit. I'm running the fucking shit you give me. It's because you're using an outdated version. No. Oh, you're right. You're not using an outdated version. I just suck at coding. This is the answer it's supposed to give me. There's children in the stream. Yeah, you might want to take them out of this one. Sorry, I'm working and I'm trying to build stuff at the same time. Shop talk it is. supposed to have a bottle over here. All right. Good luck to me. So I'm going to shift this down. It'll fall back. There we go. Wow. That worked really good. Oh, it looks good. Just got it. Got it mostly there. Now we're going to make sure we can squeegee everything out. Got it. Did it slide? Fuck. Oh, God damn it. I had it lined up. I checked it, and then it slid. I wasn't tucking. It was not in the right position. It slid. Yep, these are the biggest pain. See, that's all lined up. That's good. I want it to stay there. Good, still in place. Now if we screw up somewhere else because we don't have the right angle or whatever, that's something different. See, this is really obnoxious. There we go. Going to reach. Tuck that. And let me grab a couple towels. Soak all that out of there. Yes. All right, perfect. Yep, no gaps. That's better. We got everything to lay down. Okay, now we can joke around about tucking tools. Good God. These ones can go die. I just had the golf quarter windows yesterday. And then I got these ones today. And then couple that with like a panoramic roof. So it was a golf wagon. So right now I'm over all the extra windows. I just want to make my program work. Thanks for all the help. You're welcome. Yeah, let's leave that up on this one. Really? Not with a login? Okay, at least it logged me back in. Oh boy. I'm gonna put it like an immediate. What? Put you out here on the streets, you wouldn't have a clue. Oh my God. Okay, what do we say now? Yeah, I never care for that. People that get some sort of like a cocky, dumbass attitude. It's fucking window tint. Get over yourself. Much rather be inside than on the streets. Yep. Agreed. I used to do mobile. And I'm one of the few people that preach about hand cutting doors. I just use plotters when they make sense for me. But somebody sees somebody using a plotter. It's just like this isn't tint exclusive. This goes for every industry. There's the way things are done. And then there's another way that things are done. And there will be team red and there will be team blue. And that is so ingrained in people, they cannot accept somebody else doing things a different way than them. I don't know if it's just something deep down. It challenges like their very belief about everything. Like, that's not the right way to do it. This is the right way to do it. And you couldn't possibly think that's the right way to do it because I don't do it that way. It's a lot of people that are just very unaccepting of other people and the way that they do things. Or this idea that you're not a tinter if you do things this way. It's so stupid. It's silly. Grow up. Grow up past middle school, please. All right, let's try it again. Bottom loading, oh my God, I don't bottom load on average. That's so wrong. It's great, man. There's a few different ways of tinting. Bottom loading and two-staging are the main ways of installing. There's still more than that. Those are the main couple ways. Both are fine. Just preference. Do whatever makes life easier. Do whatever makes your customers happy. Tinters will just sit on comments all day arguing about process. Silly. Okay. How hazy does the dryer sheet have to look? Okay, so this should be the latest. And we'll just play around with this. I'm gonna stop the recording. I'm gonna go to my recordings. No, it's this one. Click on it. And delete. Start recording. Oh, it's recording a different file anyways. Okay. So the dryer sheet, you just want to make sure it's got a nice even layer. So the more hazy, like the more even it is. You just don't want it to be like super light and patchy. Because then there's not much there. And I found with dryer sheet, you always need to make sure that there's a good layer on the glass. Otherwise, it like sticks too much to the glass. There's not enough dryer sheet there. Tintbot, can you clip what I said about dryer sheet? And we'll see if it works. Okay, rolls are here in the machine, and then we're gonna be doing 50 on the windshield, and we still gotta do a panoramic roof. We wanna make sure that the dryer sheet though is completely dry. It's still a little bit wet. Panoramic roof, we wanna make sure that we actually have, this will make my life easier. Oops. Update later, please. Not right in the middle. Sunroof. Dual. Ooh. Nice. Sick. Okay, cool. We got pano. We got pano roof. Timbot. No. Tintbot. Can you make a video clip about what I said for the dryer sheets? Tintbot, clip a video of the dryer sheet. Ay, ay, ay. Tintbot, clip a video of using the dryer sheet and what I said about it. All right, that's looking good. We're gonna need another word. Tempbot? Why? Ugh, I'm over this. Tintbot, clip a video of what I said about the dryer sheets. All right, so we gotta trim this, rough trim this to size. It's thought I've said so many different things. That's what's so stupid. Holy shit. Allow. But then it worked. Okay, so if I go here, there. It's okay, you'll see. It's just going through all the stupid shit, and then we'll get there. And then you'll be like, what? The one thing that I despise about AI is that it's still very programmatical. Some things about it make it seem like sentient, and it's still program. It's good, and it's also really annoying too, because you just want it to, you know, have a memory and understand a little bit better. But you're always setting up a prompt for it to use, and then you're crossing your fingers that you thought of everything, because then all of a sudden you run, like when you actually use it, you run into a bunch of little things that you're like, ah, come on, that's stupid. Okay, it made one. Look at this. We're gonna look at this real quick. Cool. It legitimately clipped a video of what I told it to do. That's really cool. So it did it. It worked. It finally worked. And then we're going to try something a little bit harder. All right. I have a windshield. We are going to shrink this. We're going to start with the passenger side. I'm going to show how to shrink that part start to finish. Heat gun, 45-degree angle in the direction that we are shrinking. The key is to always look for these little ocean waves. How much do I need to shrink? Is what I get asked all the time. And I'm just looking for a particular pattern when I'm shrinking. You want to make sure that when you're pointing the heat gun at the film, you're giving it enough time to settle so you see these nice, even ocean wave style ripples. And you don't push any farther than what you actually see. People go out into the deep end before it's shrunk. And then that's where you get creases and issues. Tintbot, can you clip a video of what I just said about heat shrinking a windshield? All right, so we're gonna do the same in this upper area. Tintbot, can you clip a video about what I just said about heat shrinking start to finish? Maybe it's the heat gun that makes it hard for it to do. Tintbot. Tintbot, can you clip a video of heat shrinking the windshield? There it goes. It's got to get some muffliness from the heat gun then. Cool, it's making one. Okay, we're going to talk about top corners a little bit. Heat gun, shrinking. Where people run into the most issues with top corners is they cause film to pinch right here. This is actually a really bad example because it's already almost completely shrunk. There wasn't a lot of curve right up here. But we're going to use these waves to kind of explain. Always match up your card with these little ocean waves. Push them in the direction that they want to go. So when we get closer to the side, it starts to curve this way. And so then that actually coasts out the side edge. You don't want to just push air up for the sake of getting the air to go away. You're stretching the film out. It's like a blanket. You want to stretch it flat. Tintbot, can you make a video of what I just said about the top corner? Did not work for that one? Tintbot, can you clip a video of the top corner? It's too exact. I don't know why. That's what's kind of difficult with working with it. It's too, that's what I mean by it's like it's too programmatical. It's like sometimes it's working and then sometimes it's just, I don't know. It just decides to not work. It's like there's too much restriction there. All right. Cool. We'll sit on that for a little bit, see what it says. All right, I'm going to stop this. We're going to restart TikTok, I think. How do we do that? This one. We're going to turn this one off. We'll turn it back on. There we go. All right, we are back. So we're tinting a windshield. Everything is shrunk. Now we're at the trimming part. I'm going to cut right on this white tape line. That's going to keep the glass safe. And still keep things kind of speeding along. Run over this side, do the same. Just continue that cut. How much space do we have on the inside? Oh, I got quite a bit of space on the inside. More than I thought. Shit. We're going to trim this. Picky customer, 4 to 5 small specks. I think they're acceptable. That's a bummer. It's retail. Retail is always difficult because you always have people that have unrealistic or very high expectations, and it does not matter what price point that you are at. You could charge. You could pay the customer, and then they would still. Some people are still going to have a problem. You want to try and take care of their concern as a business as much as possible. There's some customers that, I mean, you might just have to fire. Just be like, I'm sorry. Like, if you want to go that route, that's completely up to you. It's just you can run your business how you want to. You don't have to take care of absolutely everybody, especially people with like absurdly high expectations. But it's very hard to explain quality to people because you start mentioning dirt specs, people think that you're a shitty tinner. No, there's no such thing as a perfect tint job ever. There's always going to be something. But what a customer doesn't want to feel is brushed off. So a lot of times it's better to sympathize and then replace the window, even like just with the context of I'm going to try and do better on this one. No window tint job is perfect, but the problem is like once they see the little dirt speck, they don't unsee it. So it's more about making those specks move. Put them somewhere else. And then a rational person, when they see you actually go to bat for them and fix the window and try and take care of their concerns, a lot of people are pretty understanding. Because they hear too many shops that just do bad work, and then they brush off the people. Like, they just paid you a good amount of money to do the job, and they want to make sure that they got as good of a job as they can. So yeah, you're going to run into that. There isn't 100% like, do this and everything will be okay. But those are some things to try. My back window, the cleared peeled, but the dye is still on the window, hard to get off. How did you go about removing it? You might have to just completely scrape it off the window. You peeled a layer of the tint and you left the most sensitive, fragile layer behind. It's not a good space to be in. It's a very nice lady, just very picky. Yep, some people are. And that's just a challenge, but that's something that you can try. I mean, the other way of looking at it too is, do you want them ever back as a customer? So by trying to fix it and making them happy, they're going to come back with another car and they're going to refer more business to you. If you just say that's as good as I can do and that's just how it is, they're probably going to go somewhere else next time, and they're probably going to refer other people somewhere else, because every time you get brought up, all they know you for now is you got some speckles in my window and you wouldn't fix it. So now I don't want to take another car to you. Know what I mean? All right, so let's squeegee off the inside here. Good RAV4. Not super wide, giving me enough space to work with. Not like the quarter windows, but we're past those now. What's the price for an E90? I'm less familiar with BMW model numbers. What year were we talking about? This sounds old. How many square foot is your shop? 4,300, because we built a loft. How much should I charge for C2 Carbon in Dearborn? Dearborn's competitive. It's tough to say. Livonia, Dearborn, Redford. You're fighting in an area where there's a lot of competition there. What I can charge is always about the experience that you create. But when there's alternatives to go to, it's like, you have to do something special to get your clients, or you have to compete in the same battlefield that every other tint shop is around you. So a lot of it in that area is going to be on price. I would call around, see what other people are doing, and you kind of get a baseline for what customers are hearing. But if you're selling purely on material and like product, that's going to sound the same to everybody. Everybody's like, I got a good film, a lifetime warranty, I'm going to do a great job. $100. What tool are you holding? This is a Quarter Pro. I typically have a longer handle. I put it down somewhere. I gotta find it. It's overhead for a shop this size. Our rent is $3,400 a month. Used to be. Ooh, I gotta make sure that's scraped. It used to be $2,400. There's a lot of glue in there from that sticker. Want to make sure we get everything. But my lease is up next year, so I don't know what it's gonna be, but I bet it's gonna start with a 4. So definitely thinking about finding another space. Yeah, I know. I know that area is really beat up. I used to tint over in Dearborn Heights. Auto Tint City is my dad's shop. You probably have seen it. You're now competing with them. But we're in the day and age where areas with just less competition obviously have an easier time. But still, usually less competition means lower income, stuff like that too. Not always, but sometimes. That can be a hurdle. But there we go. Oh God, tuck that in. Okay, this is all ready. We're gonna spray this, then we're gonna spray some gel. Yeah, I know my dad shop's been in business for a long time. Doesn't mean that he's still immune to all the competition that pops up. They go through all the same struggles everybody else does. You always have to create a better experience or have something that nobody else does that's going to stand out. That is the definition of standing out. Like, you need something about you and your business that makes it attractive. Now, that's a lot harder to people that are just calling around. But, I mean, years back, you could just have a basic website and exist. But as things grow up, just like we see with film companies, a lot of film companies aren't necessarily just about selling film anymore. They're about selling window film, PPF, coatings, having a marketing program, having rewards programs. Everybody's competing, and that causes the whole industry to evolve and grow up. But a lot of people, they do the bare minimum. They create a social profile, they might create a website, they have a phone number, contact me, there's no cool visuals, there's nothing to sell a customer, it's just like, do you want tint? I tint. This is how much, it's good film. It's like there's not much for people to go off of. But will AI take our jobs? Maybe someday. You seen all the layoffs lately? It's definitely inadvertently taken some jobs. But no, AI is cool because it helps people that are competent and like doing things. It just it enables those people to do more. I've had a blast with it. I've built so much fun shit. But back in the day, horse and buggy was the thing. Cars came along. It's not as many horses on the road, huh? But you know what? It grew a lot of other industries. You just gotta adapt and evolve with it rather than fight it. What's the soap to water ratio? Oh, that didn't turn out how I wanted. I sprayed it too. Come on. There we go. Got hung up there. 1 gallon per 1 ounce per gallon. 1 ounce of soap per gallon. That's right. Oh, that was the question. Can't say I have tinted a horse before. Tint's not gonna go away anytime soon. But I mean, we're an aftermarket accessory. Alarms, remote starters, that was all aftermarket, and then it was integrated by the OEMs. Tint's not gonna do the same thing, because it can't. But I mean, a lot of money being put into self-driving and services and stuff. It's hard to say that it's never gonna change. Of course it's gonna change. But it's seeing how things change and being able to adapt as a business owner with changes as they happen and not just kind of be stuck. That's where a lot of bad tint shops come from. Like, I've been doing it this way for 70 years. And I've never had to do that internet social media bullshit. Or, you know, and then they just like start losing business. And they don't really understand why. They refuse to adapt and change. That's what kills businesses the most. It's being stuck in your certain ways. And refusing to get better, do more, change. I have no idea who that is now. I don't watch the news. I hear about stuff. Here and there. Do you get pulled over for a tint ticket? All right. So now that we have our film on the windshield, we're going to squeegee. We're going to squeegee the window. And we're going to do a sunroof. I'm like bad omening sunroofs. It's like Subaru cameras. What if we get worn to the point where there's no tint? Yeah, could be. They might start putting self-driving cameras just in really dumb spots, and then it interferes with the system, and then you just can't tint it. That could absolutely happen. I don't know. I mean, for a long time, factory tint was not a thing. And then the OEMs started putting it on rear of trucks and SUVs. And the only thing that keeps it off of the front is state laws. There's a lot of shops that were concerned about just it going out entirely because, like, oh, well, now what? We're only going to do front doors now? And then a world of ceramic and heat rejection and tint has never been bigger. I just tint over factory today. So there's a lot of things that can happen and things that definitely do impact and change it. There very well might be a day where it's just not viable anymore. But the day of just like learning the skill and thinking you're set, no, that's part of the business. Learning how to tint is part of the business. I mean, shit, my dad never knew how to tint, and he grew a tint business. It's learning the business. And then trying to do everything you can to outthink and stay competitive. Create something better, create something bigger. The longer you exist and the better you do, the more walls you can kind of put up and moats you can create. All right, we're going to scrubby dubby the outside of this windshield. Check it over. It's looking nice. Pretty happy with that so far. Good. Good. Let's wipe it off. And then we're going to cut our sunroof. Good. Dang. That looks nice. Love it. Yeah, this looks super good. But that's always been the case with being a business owner. There's always like the way things are done by most people. And then you have a handful that are outliers. Some figure out how to scale exponentially, and those become like the super market leaders. And then, you know, as technology changes and grows, markets change. So it's just, I don't see OEMs coming up with their own like switchable system that makes glass replacement incredibly expensive. There's state laws in the way. Cars are going to remain how cars are for, you know, if you have tried subscription services and stuff like that. Everything is going to stay this way for at least the foreseeable near future. I don't think a robo-taxi is going to come in anytime soon and just stop people from buying cars. They're trying, though. They're definitely trying. But, like, the masses are always slow to change. Tint's a really good service. Takes skill, takes discipline. And then there's enough of a, you know, not everybody can do it. And it's still very valuable skill. But, you know, then you just have the regular, hey, Joe Schmo is doing it down the road for $100. Why should I pay you $500 or $600? That doesn't make sense. And then you have to justify your price to somebody that's never gotten a service from you. A lot of tinters think that that's expected, but it's not. It's always earned. That's work. Do you ever use 3M? I have. One of the first films that I ever used was 3M Color Stable. It was very blue. Wasn't a huge fan. And then just 3M automotive in general. I understand more now. At the time, it was just like, why are we spending $300-400 on a roll for 3M when we only get like one person that might ask about 3M? One person that might ask about it every couple months. It's like, that's not really doing anything for us. But we still carried it around for a time. Now more people are asking about 3M in particular, Expel in particular, Lumar in particular. Those are usually like the main ones that they come across that they're like, you know, they're going to see people mention in forum groups and wherever else. And so they're like, those are the best. I want to go with the best. I want to go with one of those films. But those are people that have only experienced one film. They put it on their car, they loved it. So then it gets a hot recommendation. They haven't compared it against other stuff. Why would they? GeoShield. GeoShield's my go-to. Why is because they strike an awesome balance between price and performance. I'm not overspending on brand. And I'm not doing a cheap material that I'd be scared to, you know, it might fail down the road. Not worried about it. Been installing it since 2019. First videos on the channel. Been happy to use it ever since. All right, let's cut this out. Do you have to become certified or trained for 3M? No. No, 3M will just sell it. I think, you know, 3M will just sell it to anybody that signs up as a distributor or a dealer under whatever distributors in their territory. They might require you to be a business. I don't know if they have any types of minimums, and I don't know if they have any territory restrictions right now. 3M Automotive has never really been incredibly strong, though. They're much more known and sought after in flat glass. Not so much automotive. But going back to what I was saying a little bit earlier about using 3M and only having a customer every once in a while, the thing is, having a brand doesn't mean people are going to come to you. It just means that you have that film. So if you think like, oh, if I get into the 3M, fucker. Ugh, shit. Hang on, I'm gonna break this apart. Delete, and I'm gonna recut that one. It didn't, ugh, it's just a sliver. Cut into it, just a sliver. It didn't eject it as far as I wanted, like it was supposed to. Probably because it's going really fast. This is one of the biggest issues for big brands. Shops that are, oh, here's my long handle. Shops that want to pull in, or installers that want to pull in a big brand. They think because they have a big brand now, that all of a sudden they're going to get a bunch of business that's going to be paying more. You still have to work just as hard to get those clients. You just happen to have a bigger name that you can drop. But if you're just in a lower income area, do you think people are all of a sudden going to start spending $1,000 on a tint job? They're going to want the nicest film at the cheapest price still. You still have to earn that business and that work. So that was the part I didn't understand until later on. I didn't think about it like that. I was just like, what's the point of 3M? They never brought us any business, but we also weren't in a super nice area. And then we were also offering paint protection film in that same area. And you know what? It was kind of a grind. We only did a paint protection film job every other month. Okay. I need to shrink this on the sides. Shouldn't need to shrink it very much though. Seems pretty flat. How many cards do you do in a day? I, right now, limit myself to about 1 per day. I always opened up this place with the intention of trying to do more video and less tint lots of cars every day. Because I've always been in a position to tint lots of cars every day. And it burns me out. And it was a grind. And I made good money doing it. But I always went back to like wanting to make more videos and doing other stuff alongside of tinting cars, not just having to tint lots of cars every day. So if I scheduled more cars, I just wouldn't be streaming. I'd have to just get a bunch of cars done every day. where's that scraper? In the mix of all my chaoticness. Shit. Oh, it's right here. Okay. I'm going to change the blade on this. Where do you get good quality tint? We have a site, 313tint.com. I'm Joe Schmo doing it for 200. How do you get into doing it for 600 regularly? Is it just shop privileges, the film? How do you raise prices? So I started in a house. And from early on, I just always said it was more expensive. So I still have a range. I start at 250 at the time. Now I start at 300. That's without a windshield. But part of your biggest problem is you're just getting phone calls from people that don't have a lot of money to spend. Especially when you tint them at that rate, you get more clients that call you for that exact same rate. Oh shit, was that the... Oh. Okay. Okay. I was getting confused here for a second. This is the front. And then that's the back. So I'm gonna cut out the front. Thankfully it had these notches. And that's the front. I gotta do a little bit of fodder. Hang on. So if I cut it like this, I click on this one, click add, go to cut board. So this is the way it was. And then I flipped it like this. Oh, so this is gonna be the front. Okay. Gotcha. I gotta make sure I have that right. Because I can very easily, it's a big rectangle, I can very easily put it in backwards. And like, oh shit, it's the wrong way. I don't want that to happen. I'd say one of the biggest things is the area that you actually tint in. It's not that you can't get higher paying clients, it's just you're gonna have far fewer on average. If you just plant yourself in a nicer area, you're just gonna get better clients. And if you're like, well, I don't live there, well, figure out how to set up shop in business, mobile, whatever, over in a nicer area where people have money to spend. Because I tinted for a lot of different companies when I was mobile. And the people in nicer areas just charged more. And people were happy to pay it. And you can grind your wheels all day in a lower income area. But if you immediately raise your prices, like this is such a discussed topic about like anything. If you raise your prices, the clients that you already had, you're gonna keep some, but you're also definitely gonna lose some. But the good news is you're gonna be making more off the clients that you keep, and you just gotta be used to being told no more often and work on your sales process. But picking up better products doesn't mean you're just going to be able to charge more for them. That's never been the case. I mean, not unless you're picking up a product to sell, like an iPhone, and then there's some sort of like restricted pricing about it. But then the only certain, then you gotta, like, you gotta convince me to go to a Best Buy over going to an Apple store, right? Same thing, same price. I might just end up going to Apple because I like Apple better. I don't know. But there's no magic bullet that anybody's gonna be able to give you. It's work, it's a grind. It's good to talk to people and ask questions. You can always find some insight that might give you something that you can then translate to your own business, like, oh, I never thought of doing that. That sounds good. That's what I do all the time. Listen to other types of businesses and see what I can kind of pull over into what I'm doing. All right, this is ready to go. Better hurry. Okay. Bigger one in the back. But yeah, I mean, I've got so many old videos. You can see exactly what this shop used to like, what it looks like now. This wasn't some grand master plan. This was just fucking grinding it out, figuring things out, and iterating. But I see this like time and time again in business. There is just smart things and good practices that you can do that can give you an edge, that can help, smart systems, smart sales processes. But at the end of the day, you're still trying to market, convince, advertise in certain ways that get you good business. It's all work, no matter what. And as things kind of grow and evolve, those things get harder and harder. Like what to do, then more people start doing it, therefore it's not as unique or special, and then you need to think of another thing and try new stuff, and that's kind of business. But you also have clients that you have gotten along the way. So like being in business 5 years, there's nothing crazy about our sales process, honestly. Dude, I've been obsessive about posting videos. And I've got a lot of material to show people. We've looked at all our systems. We get back to people very quickly. We send people proposals. We don't have customers going, oh, I took it there and they just did a bad job and they never fixed it. It's like we take care of issues. We take care of people. We do good work. This was a customer that had brought me his Toyota 3 years ago. And then they came in all around for their new one with a panoramic roof. That was literally 3 years ago, is what they said. So that's being in business for X amount of time, being in business for X amount of more time. And then they were like, why would they had a great experience. Why would they go anywhere else? So that's just part of the work part. But it's all work. Good news is you'll look back on it one day and you'll be like, oh wow, I was in a much different position 2 or 3 years ago than I am today. But it never feels like it day to day. It's always like, what changes day to day is pretty small. And then you just look back over the year and you're like, shit, all that happened last year? It's crazy. Did you have to shrink the sunroof? I snapped the ends. This one does not need to be shrunk very much. I'm literally going off of the look of it. I could have installed it and then like, shit. But I've got a lot of space on the sides and it doesn't seem very curved, so I just snapped it off of feeling. Now the other part is, okay, so I had the middle was here. And so this is the front edge. This has to be the front edge because I had the other portion up here, so that's why I left it this way. So we're gonna just rotate it, bring it over to this board. And so now the front edge, it could just be a square. It looks like a big square, but that should be the front edge. So let's go in there and clean it. Business be work. It always is. As soon as it feels easy, there's more fucking work to do. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. This one's a little bit farther back. So let's put these here. And then let me grab a towel for the last one. Got it. Okay. Now I feel better about this. Fuck me, dude. Where's my battery notifications? Fuck. I'm here. I'm gonna replace this battery. I'm gonna turn the camera on. I'm gonna reconnect. I don't even know how much battery. 70. That'll work. Should I restart? Should I restart TikTok? Probably. Let me do that. I'm gonna use it as a chance to restart TikTok. Okay, let's connect again. And then we are going to, what are we going to do? We're going to close that window. I'm going to reconnect. Then we're going to click start. Oh no, it should be already connected. There we go. Cool. It's back. It's back. Okay, so we are about to put a piece of film on the sunroof. Once I clean it, we're gonna get a little shower while we do this. The most fun part about doing a sunroof This is pretty good for that. I like this better than a scraper holder. I mean, it's a scraper holder, but it's a stick one. All right, we need to get back here too. Cool. Now the real shower. Got it. One more time. So when we install this, the glass goes a little bit back farther from the headliner. So we need to make sure that we tuck it in there. Seal this. And then I'm gonna feed the back in first. Like a back window. Come on. Put this up on the roof. And we're gonna slide it back. Make sure it all fits. The biggest question now, is it gonna fit? It looks good. Get really close. There we go. Cool. Looks good. Thank you, Toyota. They actually made this one a lot more straightforward to install. We have some space around it. water has somewhere to go.
I thought you can't tint roof glass because it traps heat and shatters.
I thought you can't tint roof glass because it traps heat and shatters. Everybody's got a story or a friend of that happening to. And I just like, we have a group of over like 130,000 people. People are tinting sunroofs every day, and I just don't see them as an issue. You have the same glass. The only difference is you have hardware on the roof as well. But I think it's just one of those old tales. Can somebody have an issue? Are we all immune to never having issues on sunroofs? No, I don't think so. I think it's absolutely possible. But I think the rarity that something would actually happen is like, can I damage a windshield when I'm tinting it? Absolutely. Would it be expensive to fix it? Yeah. How many of them have I damaged? The only times I've ever damaged a windshield was just being stupid. It's never been because I've gotten too much water in one particular spot.
Wanting to use GeoShield and only use slash off of one film in total. Pro Nano is best all around.
Wanting to use GeoShield and only one film in total, Pro Nano is the best all around. Personally, I would go with a C2 carbon or a C2 ceramic. If you really only want to use one. C2 ceramic's obviously gonna be a little bit better for performance, but it comes down to what you and your clients are looking for. If they need a ceramic film and you want to have that available to everybody, then it makes sense. If you're just installing tint, then they have nothing to compare it to, and it doesn't matter as much. So I've got 3 automotive films from them that I install, but each one has a purpose. Carbon doesn't block a lot of heat. C2 ceramic blocks a lot of heat. Apex is 2 layers of C2 ceramic combined into one film, blocking even more. And then I show them on a heat box. We talk about the budget, and we make a decision. So if I was only looking to have one, oh, that's where they are. So if I was only looking to have one, I just like the color tone of C2 ceramic better, and it's got more performance. I like it better than Pro Nano. It's got more performance than C2 carbon. So it's a good all-rounder for a ceramic film. But if you want something that's a little bit, more cost effective, and heat rejection isn't your client's main concerns, C2 carbon's a great option. Just wiping this one down. We did 50% on the windshield. We did 35% on everything else. They had factory privacy glass on the rear. We tinted right over that with the same 35. It's looking nice. One little bubble. It's hard to reach. There we go. It was right there. Yes, 35 on the sunroof. Mm-hmm. The back metered at 28%, which is definitely lighter for factory. They wanted to darken it up some, but they didn't want to limo it out. So we did a 35, which is going to bring it to around 10%. There a dust under your tint? You're a dust under my tint. Yep, 11. So we're 11, 12 on the rear, and then 29 on the front. The roof metered around 22. It's going to be so close you're not going to notice the difference, but it's also facing the sky. This turned out so nice. That's a tint meter. So it'll give me a VLT reading on the glass. It'll let me know what shade we installed. So I can meter the tint by itself. I can put it over the window with the film, and it'll show a little bit darker. There were a lot more bumper stickers than I. So when we're putting a shade on the window, one thing to consider is what is the glass already? You're gonna combine it. Glass by itself is not clear. It'd be cool if it was, but it's gonna meter somewhere between typically 75 and 85%. So now when you take a piece of 20 and you put it over that, it's just gonna be darker. 20 over factory is generally like, anyway, it's like 16. Remove their stickers? Ew, no, what? It's not for me to decide. Wipe that off. Last window. We'll check it over. Get it all buttoned up. All right, where's that card? Just this front edge being stubborn. It's aggressive. Aggressively tight there. Those quarter windows are not super fun to do. I don't like them. Have you ever broke a rear window while shrinking the film? No, I broke one for being stupid. So on older Pontiac Grand Prix, Buicks, other GM cars, Cadillacs, they had those stick on the rear window antennas. And when I say I was just being careless and stupid, yeah. I was in a rush. I hated removing them. They always got so annoying. They're tedious to scrape off on the inside. They're tedious on the outside, really old, aggressive, double-sided stick tape, and I was impatient. So, quickest way is to take a heat gun and then slice away at the adhesive, and then you kind of pry back the antenna a little bit. And I wedged a screwdriver in there and twisted to make things go faster. And I just put way too much pressure on the glass and exploded the back window. I've broke 2 windshields also with just being careless. It was the Ford mirror ones. But stupidly enough, it was the easy to remove Ford mirror ones. I just didn't know at the time. I got some bad information from people. They would take the mirror and bend it, just like peel it off the tab. That works most of the time until one day it doesn't work and you have an aftermarket piece of glass and you pull a chunk of glass, clean it off with the tab. So that was not good. Don't recommend that. And I've burned my fair share of, you know, A-pillar spot, no, the middle ones, these ones. I've like glossed them, burned them. Just like heat gun, being careless about this trim right here. That's happened to me. I've scratched windows. That's why I take a lot of extra steps for the little things like covering up seats, dashboards. It's just being thorough, and because we're live streaming, it also gives customers less of a way to question what you did. So if they see something, then we can like, hey, I got a whole live stream on your car. But we also have cameras that say hello, watch us during the whole stream, so I can just rewind and did we really fuck that part of the car up? There we go. All right, well this one's all set. So we did 35 on everything. The back looks darker because there's factory privacy glass on it, but it turned out really nice. 35 on everything, 50 on the windshield, 35 over the factory on the sunroof as well. Turned out extremely nice. I think they'll be very, very happy with this. Cool. Yep, C2 ceramic on this one. So everything with a so normally sides and rear, 350. With the windshield, 550. With the panoramic roof, it's an extra 100 per panel. 750. 750 total for everything. All right, and I'm gonna skip off.